Good morning and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mamani. I hope you all are doing good. Let's see what we have got in the Hindu today. Today is Sunday, so we don't get editorials and we don't get articles, but I have got a special topic for you guys. It is pertaining to domestic violence. Very important topic, but before that, let's have a positive start. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago, has been said by Warren Buffett. That means that if you work today, you will enjoy the fruits of this work or the hard work that you are doing today. You will get it in your coming future, and it is very important for us to work today. Today is the moment that we have, and if we work today, if we build our capacity, if we do all those things that will boost our knowledge and build our capacity, then it will definitely help us in the coming tomorrow. With this difference, we have got many pen drive and tablet courses that will help you immensely with your exam preparation. To find out more about it, check out StudyIQ.com. On your screen you can see the items that we cover, the range of things that we cover, and we have got a test series and many other items. Check out StudyIQ.com to find out more about it. If you want to get in touch with me, this is my Facebook page here, this is my Twitter handle. Don't forget to hit the like button and do share this lecture with other students as well. It will help them immensely. With this, let's start our discussion with domestic violence. Now, of course, as far as morality is concerned, as far as humanity is concerned, as far as equal life or you can say equal status right of man and woman is concerned, then yes, it is right, and we need to do everything that we can to stop this crime, to stop this thing that is going on against women from time immemorial, right? Now the thing is, domestic violence is of course not healthy for kids, it's not healthy for a family, right? It's not healthy for society, and if something is not healthy for society, if it's not good for society, then it is not good for the nation and for the world, isn't it? Now, if we go through these figures that we have got, you will be amazed that 25 times, can you believe this thing, that wars and terrorism, all this damage or economic loss that wars and terrorism can cost, right? If you keep it on one side and if you compare it with domestic violence and economic loss that we face because of domestic violence, then it is 25 times more. Can you believe this thing? 25 times more than wars and terrorism. Now, if you go through this latest figures of National Family Health Survey, we find that 22% of married women aged 15 to 49 experience either physical or sexual violence in domestic environment. It is done by their spouse. So this is a very dangerous thing. This is a very shocking thing for any person. It also says that this figures, this survey also indicates that 5 crore Indian women were assaulted last year, and of course this one as well, right? Between 15 to 49, 22% of women were either they faced a physical or sexual violence in last year. So you can easily say that this thing is going on. We know it very well that this thing is going on. Now the sad thing is that if we go through this Domestic Violence Act, we have laws in our country, right? In 2005 we came out with this new Domestic Violence Act, but the sad thing is we don't have ample evidence, right? We don't have proper evidence to suggest that whether this thing has made any necessary or required changes in our society. The other thing is all those people who are associated with this enforcement of this particular law, may it be judges, may it be all these wakils and advocates, may it be protection officers. We even today we find that they are working in this field of criminal justice system or delivering justice and things like that, but or enforcement of this Domestic Violence Act. The sad portion is that we find that even then, even these people, right, they are you can say not that sensitive. I'm not saying everyone is not sensitive, but we find majority of people are still not that much aware about this particular thing, and it's one of the reason is that they are coming from the same society in which this violence, sexual violence, as well as this sort of physical violence against women, particularly wives, are considered as a sort of, as a right of a man or a husband, that he can hit her wife, he can force her to have sex and things like that. So they are coming from this society, and this is a very sad thing. We need to change this thing. Of course, this is not at all acceptable. And a thing that can help us is coming from Uganda. In Uganda, they have done this. They have carried out this project called SASA. SASA project has helped immensely, or it has changed the society of Uganda, and it is at present working in 20 different countries as well. Now, how it works is basically, let me take you through full form of this SASA. SASA stands for Start Awareness Support Action. And it's basically about, you have staff and everyone, they will create this positive environment. And how this positive environment is created, basically in a society where this sort of things are found, like say for example in our country, or let's take example of South Africa. What they did here is that under this program, right, in South Africa, you will be, or a society, or the people living in society, they will be repeatedly exposed to this sort of campaign, to this sort of awareness campaign. Now see how they have thought about it. When you go there to get a sort of microfinance loan, right, they will train you, they will take you through this training session and things like that, right, women and men both, and they will talk about this domestic violence, why it is not good, and all these things will be taught to men and lady in society. If you go there to get this microfinance, then they will train your family, and some sort of programs will be going on in different parts of your country, in different pockets of your society as well. So this will create, 24/7, 365 days, you will have something and something around you that is educating you that this sort of things are not good for society and things like that. So once you are repeatedly exposed to this sort of positive program, it will gradually, you won't even notice, but it's just like, that building. When you have that building construction going on nearby your house, and you may have noticed it, that something is, or a building is being constructed, but all of a sudden you will realize that, oh my god, this whole building is about to get over, the construction is nearly over. Why? Because gradual changes, we hardly observe this sort of gradual changes. Same thing happens with this thing as well. When you have this sort of programs going on, you won't realize, but the change will take place. The other thing is, if we talk about Andhra Pradesh, right, now one more thing, that per person it may cost 980 rupees, right, per person. So roughly you can say it will cost 1000 rupees per person to educate one person to create this awareness. Now it may look a bit expensive, but if we talk about, say for example, Andhra Pradesh, now in Andhra Pradesh you have 17 lakh target women on whom this survey was done, and the cost was 164 crore rupees. Now the thing is, out of this 17 lakh women, at least 5 lakh women will face, or they have faced this sort of assault, right? They have faced, in fact, this sort of assault. So assault by their spouse. And the thing is, many women in our country, they go, or they face this sort of assault 8 times in a year, right? So roughly speaking, you can say 45-50 days, because on an average it will cost 5.5 days of a woman, roughly speaking, right? It may be more and more, particularly more in other cases. So 5.5 days are wasted, right? You want to be able to go to work, it will make you, disturb the whole family, will get disturbed, particularly kids. Their whole upbringing will have this negative impact on them and things like that. So 5.5 days, and you can say 8 times, roughly speaking. So we are talking about 45-50 days productivity will be lost, and this will cost them, this will cost their family, because they have to skip their paid as well as unpaid domestic work. Now the other thing is, if we help this 17 lakh women, right, then the total cost would be total cost, that 164 crore rupees. But what we get out of it, right, just like this Warren Buffett's quote, that if we plant something today, then we will get shade tomorrow. So it will bring us benefit worth 3,000 crore rupees. Can you believe this thing? 164 crore investment in this sort of awareness campaign, and it will help us with, or it will directly, indirectly give us benefit worth rupees 3,000 crore. which is you can roughly say that if you invest 1 rupees, you will get 20 rupees return. Expanding the cheaper program to this entire state of Andhra Pradesh, it will cost 1,300 crore rupees, but the benefit will be 28,000. So reducing domestic violence is not only morally imperative, but can help Indian states become more productive and generate benefits worth many thousands of crores of rupees. And more women, right? Once they are trained under this thing, they will learn new. You can have, in South Africa, you had this microfinancing thing. In India, you can have this training. If you want a sort of training certificate, then you have to go through this sort of program. So it will be win-win situation. It's not that you are just creating awareness. You are training them. You are bringing them in that atmosphere in which they will feel, they will realize that they have this capacity within them. With this, dear friends, let's move on to important news item. Now, important news item, the first item that we have is prices are going to shoot up, or in fact, they have shot up because of this farmers' strike. Now, of course, it is going to impact this demand and supply equilibrium, isn't it? Supply will be choked and demand will go up. So naturally, price will go up of this vegetables, and this will hit very badly, particularly this poor people in our country. Sad news coming from Uttar Pradesh. 17 people have lost their lives because of this dust storm. I came out with a special video lecture on dust storm. It is available on our channel. Do check that one out. Right, we have talked about the damage that these things are creating, and around the world things that are going on, and why we need to stop this sort of climate change activities. No clarity on source of Nipah virus at present. We are not sure from where are we getting affected by this Nipah virus. Earlier on, this allegations were levied against this fruit bats, but at present it is confirmed by various studies that fruit bats are innocent. They don't carry this thing. We are not sure about the source of Nipah, but still the research is going on. They have been doing this lab test, and hopefully in near future we'll know something about it. No detention policy will be changed by August, has been said by Union Human Resource Development Minister Prakash Javadekar. Basically, Prakash Javadekar has said that it is up to states. If states wants to continue this thing, then they can. Basically, under this Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education, RTE, Right to Education Act 2009, no child between 8 to 14, remember, no child between 8 to 14 years can be detained in a class. As far as RTE covering education is concerned, it caters to students or kids who are falling between the range of 6 years to 14 years. But as far as this detention policy is concerned, no detention policy is concerned, it covers 8 to 14 years small kids. So remember this thing. And West Bengal has said that it wants to switch back to this pass and fail model of education. So Prakash Javadekar has said that the central government is giving full freedom to this to the state government. They can go ahead if they think that this is best for them, then they can do that thing. Now, what we find here is some important figures as far as this clinical trials are concerned. Now, I'm sure you know what clinical trials are all about. They are done to make sure that medicine is not having any sort of side effects, or it is not creating more problems and troubles and things like that. So before introducing medicine in the market, it goes through rigorous and extensive testing. Now, if we go through the figures of this clinical trials in our country, what we find that in 2010 we had 529 clinical trials, but in 2017 we had just 97. So it has drastically dropped, and this is not good sign as far as our country is concerned, because in India we have 17% of global population and 20% of global disease burden. We need more medicines. We need indigenously developed medicines so that we can basically control all these diseases that we have in our country. So many people, poor people particularly, they are facing or going through various diseases, and if medicines are expensive, then of course they are not going to get that proper treatment. Moving on, this is something easy to understand, but even though I thought I should share with you guys, what we find is that most of the people or youngsters who are joining militancy, they are persuaded by their relatives, who have already joined this sort of militancy, either relatives or neighbors. They are the ones, someone whom someone who is in touch with you, plays a very, you can say, important role here. So we need to look at it. We need to sort this problem out. We don't want our young boys and girls to join this sort of militancy, and we need to keep them away from all this, you can say, negative people who have already joined militancy. Mr. Modi had a meeting with Defense Minister James Mattis, and they met in Singapore, and they talked about this Pacific Command, which is named now as Indo-Pacific Command. So they discussed about this global security issues and regional security issues, and other items were discussed between them. Ajit Doval was also present during this meeting, and Arctic Sea route is not possible, has been said by Finnish official. Finnish official has said that this project is not viable at all because of weather, of course, and because of this geography that you have here. Now, this is what you see. This red line is what you see, what we call Polar Silk Road, right? This is Maritime Silk Road. This one, this dark black one, and this one is Polar Silk Road. This is ambitious project of China. China wants to connect with this North European countries, or say this Norwegian countries, Scandinavian countries, by this route, and it can cater and get in touch with Russia as well. So they have to pass through this Arctic Ocean. Many people believe that because of this climate change, the snow will melt here, and then this particular route will be more and you can use it for navigation, but this is not going to happen, has been said by this Finnish official. You can see here, if you want to connect this place to this place via this route, it takes 48 days. But if you connect it from here to here, it will take just 24 days. So in this way, it is a bit, you can say, less time consuming. But the challenges that you face here are going to be immense. So at present, it looks that this project will not work. But again, let's wait and watch. With this, dear friends, today many of you would be watching this video after your examination, and many people have at present, as we are speaking, right? Many people are giving their exams. So for today, I'll give you a day off as far as your questions are concerned, right? These are your answers of yesterday's question, and that's everything in today's discussion. Don't forget to check out StudyIQ.com to find out more about our pen drive and tablet courses. And dear friends, keep your environment green and clean. Look after your environment and it will look after you. Share this lecture with other people and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday. Jai Hind.